Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ilham Naila binti Haris and my metric number is 1212310. My topic for today is the importance of persuasion speech. Let me define the meanings of persuasion. Persuasion is the process of creating, reinforcing, or changing people's belief, or in other words, it is to convince listener that your information is accurate and you care about them. Other than that, your skill as a speaker and your level of genuine enthusiasm help determine how effective your speech will be with your audience. The first important it will enhance your ability to speak persuasively, and it can be beneficial from personal relationship to career aspiration to civil deliberation. The second important it will also help the job of persuasive speaker to advocate, trying to affect the attitudes, belief, or actions of listener. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillah, moving on to the first part or first types of the persuasive speeches itself, which is the questions of fact. The question of facts, normally when we are giving a public speaking in order to convey our ideas, in order to convey our feelings or maybe our thinking on a certain types of issue, we will be using some kind of facts to strengthen our ideas. So, instead of just blatantly saying our facts to the audience, we can also use the first types of the persuasive speech, which is the question of facts. What is the question of facts? The question of facts is when we are giving a facts to the audience, we will also guide our audience on how to interpret the facts itself. For example, when reading a facts or giving a facts about the COVID-19 cases, the pandemic right now, for some people, when they are reading a facts about the COVID-19 cases, they might be thinking about the feeling or the emotion that is felt by the family of the deceased member that died because of the COVID-19. But for other people, they might be thinking about the government need to do something to settle the issues of the pandemic that is happening in the world right now. So, instead of just giving the facts out loud, we can also guide the audience to think about how to interpret and convey the ideas behind the facts itself. Thank you.
The next type of persuasive speech is question of value. Question of value require judgment based on a person's belief about what is right or wrong, good or bad, moral or immoral, and so on. When dealing with a question of value, a speaker needs to justify her or his value judgment in light of clearly defined set of standards. Persuasive speech on question of value are almost always organized topically. The most common approach is to devote the first main point, establish the standard for the speaker value judgment. Next, the second main point applies the standard to the speech topic. For example, think back for a moment to the speech about bicycle riding as the ideal form of land transportation. If you organize this speech in topical order, your first main point would identify the standards for an ideal form of land transportation. Your second main point would show how biking measure up against those standards.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Next, persuasive speech on question of policy. What's meant by that? Question of policy means that speaker need to deal with specific causes and action and decide whether something should or should not be done. There are two types of persuasive speech on question of policy. Firstly, the one that seeks to gain passive agreement on policy that are desirable, necessary, and practical. Secondly, the one that seeks to motivate the audience to take immediate action. Next, persuasive speech of question of policy need to be addressed by three basic issues, which are need, plan, and practical. First, the speaker who recommend the change of policy must prove why why the need for the change. Second, after that the speaker must offer the specific plan to solve the need. Third, the speaker need to prove that the plan is workable and will solve the need without creating another problem. Last but not least, the time devoted to need, plan, and practically at any given speech are depend on the topic and the audience. Thank you.
So now, 4 patterns of organizations are especially effective for persuasive speeches on questions of policy. The first pattern is problem, solution, order. The first main point shows the needs for a new policy by proving the existence of a serious problem. The second main point presents a plan for solving the problem and demonstrates it practically. The second pattern is a problem, cause, solution order. The first main point shows the existence of a problem. The second main point analyzes the causes of the problem. The third main point presents a solution to the problem. The third pattern is comparative advantages order. This pattern of organizations is most effective when the audience already agrees there is a need for a new policy. Rather than dwelling on the other need, the speaker devotes each main point to explaining why his or her plan is preferable to other solutions. The fourth pattern is Monroe's motivated sequence, which consists of steps that follows the psychology of persuasion. The first step is to gain attention of the audience. The second step is to show the needs for a change. The third step is to satisfy the sense of need by pretending a plan that will remedy the need. The fourth step is to visualize the benefits and practically of the plan. The fifth step is to urge the audience to take action in support of the plan.